You guys stare at the stone, waiting to see if Izhkrin reappears, unless you've got something else you'd like to try.
Can I flip open the mirror of peeping and try to find him?
You can. Wow, you can.
He couldn't cast clairvoyance because that takes 10 minutes, but he can use the mirror of peeping.
I wasn't thinking of that. You open up, and the three of you gather around the mirror of peeping as an image begins to take shape. Izhkrin, you open your eyes to the night sky. But it's not only above you, it is below you as well. As far as the eye can see, with a seamless, infinite blend into the horizon, the sky above in all its glory and millions of stars is reflected like a mirror perfection onto the surface of the water below you. The water you stand in is shallow, only inches deep, but as perfectly smooth and still as glass. Your eyes adjust, and you catch your equilibrium in this dizzying place, and you turn in a slow circle to get your bearings. Directly to the north, your eye finds the horizon truly for the first time in this strange place, and you find it due to the plumes of magic that stain the night sky to the north. To see them from here, they must extend thousands of feet up into the atmosphere. It must be where the magical war you witnessed before is being waged. To the northwest, you see a small, dark bump rising above the horizon and reflected below in the mirror-like surface. A mountain or plateau far in the distance, perhaps. As you continue your survey, you make out a dark structure to the south. Not completely solid, but monolithic in proportion. A shrine, possibly? You're drawn toward it. You begin to walk, and as you do, you feel beneath your feet small, hard ridges in the basin of the flat seabed of this lake. Your footsteps make ripples, but they don't travel as far as you expect, as these ridges you feel seem to dampen any motion that disturbs the water in this place. As you approach this monument, the shape of the monument becomes clear to you. It's a hinge, huge vertical stones placed in a circle, topped by stones just as massive, laid horizontally on top of them, creating a ring overhead. Your first thought is Sylvan stone, but then you remember not where, but when you are. These stones are the stones that will become Sylvan stone in the land to the north where the war magics rage. These are blanks. You get closer, and you make out figures standing within the gaps between the stones facing into the circle. Elves in silver robes, hoods thrown back, all with their eyes looking to the heavens, all except one, a boy younger than the rest who is looking down. He doesn't look at you, but at your footsteps and the ripples they make in the water. You step into the center of the circle of stones, remembering what you intended if you made it back to this time once again. And you slowly pull out the astrosphere. You look at its shining surface, and you open the cover. Unlike any time before, the astrosphere springs to life, familiar rings deploying in different configurations than you've ever seen. New rings you thought were just decorations, unfolding and aligning themselves with the stars above. You look up, see the three stars in the night sky, the sisters, lock into position, and you witness as the gate opens. In a burst of glitter, you are once again energy. You shoot skyward and out into the Flogstrom, sailing amongst the spheres once again. Your speed increases. Spheres huge and close, others far and distant shoot past you, others shatter and floating dead in the swirling gray. And then ahead of you, you see it. The cradle, the beginning, the 7 spheres that are the home of the celestial court. You fly right into the heart of it, to the forge of the spheres itself, and your form materializes. You see the Frost Prince standing above you, working at the anvil, the crafters gathered around you, shaping and creating the spheres themselves. You see their tools glowing with purple auras of pure force as they hammer at the stuff of creation itself, bringing form to what was formless. And as you witness this, your mind awakens, remembering 1,000 lifetimes of wielding that same energy, that same force. And as your mind awakens, Lysithea at your side begins to glow with a dark purple aura of pure energy, dripping off the end of Lyle's wicked gauge and onto the floor of the forge. Izhkrin, in wonder, you stare into the forge, mesmerized by this icy blaze, and as you stare at that white-hot light, its fiery radiance begins to glow in your eyes as well. Your blue eyes turning first white and then into blinding blazes of crystal starlight, the energy of the forge merging with your Fey heritage, imbuing it with new strength and ability. You look up to the Frost Prince as your lives become clear in your mind once again. The spheres won, the spheres you lost, lives that you saved, worlds that you destroyed. You are overwhelmed by the countless thousands of years of memory. The Frost Prince, he looks down at you quizzically at first, and then, with a wave of his hand, shoos you away. You find yourself falling backwards through the Flogstrom, through the gate as you see it close, and find yourself back in the circle, looking at the elves that are now staring at you. You're disoriented, and you turn again, looking at each of the elves as you go in a full circle. And as you come back to the first one, you see his eyes. All color has drained from them. Its pupils now just pinpricks as these blinded orbs shudder in their sockets as your gaze has blinded them. Seeing what you've done, you look down at the white crystal. The mirror is gone. As far as your eye can see, just a crystal expanse. At first, you think that it's maybe frost. You bend down and pull your fingers across it. And this sharp tang of salt hits your nostrils. You close your eyes, overwhelmed, trying to remember the beauty of that lake, that surface that is now gone. And when you open them, whoosh, you're standing there against the stone, back in your time, amongst your companions, your memories of those lives fading, becoming muddled, cloudy, as the same confusion that has plagued you since you arrived on this sphere in your last of 1,000 lifetimes is being lived, and you struggle to grab onto just one thing to remember. And you remember the Frost Prince's face and 2 beautiful blue crystal horns that raise from his forehead. And that is where we're going to end our session today.
Ah! Izhkrin screams. Ah!
What an eventful day.
Welcome to level
Hang on,
7,
no.
Izhkrin.
You got to see all that too. Holy shit.
And yeah, you guys witnessed it all through the mirror of peeping.
Holy shit.
So, what did you do this night? Well, we just watched the god meet his god, pretty much. No biggie.
Just give him a little wave. Hey, how
So,
you doing?
guys,
All right, bye.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you for all the donations. For those of you just tuning in for the first time, we do run the channel 100% for charity. This month is the Organization for Autism Research. It is a wonderful organization. If